Well, I said if we played the way we played against Burnley and against Nottingham Forest, I thought we would just about be good enough to beat Wolves. And today we were even worse than we were against Burnley and Nottingham Forest. And we just about beat Wolves. But let's not get too carried away with that performance. Wolves are bottom of the table for a reason. They are quite a poor side. They didn't particularly cause any real problems today until that corner right at the end. And to be honest, I think they deserve to be down the bottom. They just don't look like the outfit they've been over the last few seasons. So, yeah, to get a 1-0 win against them obviously is a good result because it's still a win. And more importantly, it gets us outright into the top four with no chances of any teams catching us with games in hand. So we are outright into the top four now, which is a fantastic achievement for us considering how poor we started the season. But yeah, a little bit concerning, I'm not going to lie. We've obviously got the FA Cup game and then a game against Bournemouth before we then have the big games against Man City and Arsenal. But to me, that means we only have 2 games and the Charlton game to really sort it out. Because if we play like that against Arsenal and Man City, we're going to lose both of those games. Midfield, I thought, was the poor bit today. Like the creative play. Eriksen just didn't really get into the game. Bruno was getting bypassed. We kept going out wide to Antony and to Garnacho in the first half, and then obviously Antony and Rashford in the second half. Garnacho and Antony, I thought, were very poor, very predictable. Garnacho wanting to be direct, trying to take on Semedo, and then always seemingly looking to shoot. Antony just is all left foot every time he gets the ball. I don't think he ever uses his right foot, even for dribbling. He just constantly turns and twists on that left foot and then tries to create an angle for a cross or a shot. But Bueno had his number for the majority of that game, and most of the time he either lost the ball or just ended up having to pass it back into midfield. So a little bit worried about Antony at the moment. He made a bright start to his United career, but looks like he's been a bit found out in these games post the World Cup. So need to see an improvement from him. And then Martial as well. I thought Martial was really poor today. Just didn't look alert. I don't know if it was the early kickoff and maybe he woke up late or so. I don't know. But he just looked incredibly sluggish. His usual lazy self that we've seen so many times. I thought he'd turned a corner in that respect this season, but it was another bog standard Martial performance today where he just looked a little bit behind the rest of the play. He was second to loose balls. His touch was poor. His passing was poor, and he just didn't really get involved in the game. And obviously, at half-time, we brought on Marcus Rashford, left out of the team for disciplinary reasons, which I'm sure we'll find out a little bit more about over the coming days. But a manager has to put his stamp on the team, and leaving Marcus Rashford out of the starting lineup is obviously the correct decision if he has broken the rules for whatever reason. I'm hearing reports that it wasn't a severe breach of the rules, which is why he was left on the bench rather than being pulled out of the squad altogether. So he left him out, he brought him on, and of course he was the match winner because at the moment he just is our best player and, well, our best attacking player, I should stress. I'll get onto some of the defenders in a moment, but he seems to be our only real goal threat at the moment. Bruno looked, like I say, out of the game, had a couple of opportunities to do better and he didn't. Martial was poor, Antony was poor, etc., etc. So I'm not surprised that the only goal came from Marcus Rashford, and he obviously was unlucky not to get a second if it wasn't for the rules regarding handballs directly leading to a goal. I don't really know the best way around that rule. If that happens and it's a defender that would have stopped Rashford having a shot, it wouldn't have been a penalty, but because it was Rashford scoring due to the handball, it's not a goal. So in my opinion, the rules are unfair in favour of defenders, but it is what it is. I'd rather the rules were consistent, which obviously they are at the moment. And yeah, Rashford, the match winner, he gets the job done again. Hopefully he will now start in the next game because whatever disciplinary action has now been taken. And then I have to talk about the defence because once again I thought the defence was absolutely fantastic today. Wan-Bissaka for the 3rd game running was immaculate defensively. Not really a lot came down his side at all. Makes the tackles. Looked relatively good going forward again, so I've got no complaints about him. Varane did his job the way he always does, and obviously Casemiro in front of the defence did his job the way he normally does. Had to take a yellow card at one point in the game, but that's part of defending sometimes. Malacia, I thought, had a better game than he did in the last game, especially since when Adama Traore came on, he was running directly at Malacia, and I thought he handled him pretty well. And then today's man of the match, in my opinion, by an absolute mile, was Luke Shaw, who doesn't look out of place in the left side of that defence. Just looks absolutely incredible as a left-sided centre-back. And Looks like there's something they've worked on just in case Martinez goes out injured. Ten Hag is a manager that likes to have a right footer on the right-hand side and a left footer on the left-hand side. That is why we're not seeing Lindelof or Maguire playing, and it is Luke Shaw at left centre-back. He likes to have a left-sided centre-back on the left-hand side. So he just played absolutely immense today, up against Diego Costa, a prolific Premier League striker known for his physicality and causing problems. Luke Shaw was not bothered one bit by that. And then second half against Hwang Hee-chan, his pace didn't bother him either. So really immense performance from Luke Shaw. In my opinion, comfortably the man of the match for Manchester United today. And it'll be interesting to see what happens now that Martinez will be back for next week. I'm assuming it will be Shaw goes back to left back and Martinez comes back into the centre-back play. But it's another clean sheet. It's another win. It's another okay but not great performance. And like I said, we've got 2 cup games and 1 more Premier League game against Bournemouth to sort of get some of that rhythm back, get that more energy into the team, because I thought we were very lacklustre today. So 3 games to get it sorted, and then we go against Man City and Arsenal where the test will really start to come. But into the top 4, 3 more points, and at the end of the day, I can't really complain about that. Let me know in the comments what you thought of today's game, what you think our prospects are for the rest of the season, and who would you like to see added in January. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you very soon.